Hello everyone, my name is Destiny Khalil, and this is my response to the 0 degrees questions. So for question number 1, what did you notice? What about the performance was interesting, strange, revealing, or meaningful to you? So I said the first thing that I noticed was how confused I was when they were speaking at the same time. I said I didn't truly understand why they were speaking about the certain things they did, such as the passport, for instance. So I ended up looking that up afterwards. And then I also said the longer I watched the play, the more I realized how much was being said, even though no words were actually being spoken. I said through the characters' body movements, I understood exactly what they were trying to communicate, which is also what I found extremely interesting in this performance as well. I said I also found that extremely meaningful because I looked at it as a very beautiful thing that even though the performers weren't speaking, they still understood each other perfectly fine, and the audience was able to understand them perfectly fine just through their body movements and their facial expressions and their hand gestures and all of that. So I found that very meaningful as well. And then for question number 2, so like I said earlier, or I'm sorry, for question number 2 was what aspects of Catholic are being integrated into this dramatic world. I said one aspect of Catholic being integrated was their hand movements. When they were first speaking together at the same time in the beginning of the play, they used a lot of hand motions to express how they were feeling and saying. For example, they were doing this to express how much power a passport holds, with a lot of emphasis when they were doing that, to really help get their emotions and feelings out to the audience for them to understand. So when they were doing this and the way they were moving their hands really expressed their emotions and feelings about how much power a passport holds. And then I said another aspect was the rhythm of the characters correlating to the music. I said, for example, when the beat of the song would get intense, the performers would start matching that and moving at a faster pace and becoming more amplified in their actions and intense to really get their message out. So like when the music and beat got really intense, they got really intense. When it started dying down a little bit, they started calming down a little bit. And that was them being intense if they would like stomp or move really fast or whatever the case is. And then for question number 3, so like I said earlier, the one thing I didn't completely understand was in the beginning of the production they were talking about a passport. So I really wanted to see what the significance of that part was. So I did some research, and in an article I found Akram Khan, I believe is his name, was in an interview. He was explaining his journey from Bangladesh to India, and then he said that many things had happened to him during the journey. One was his British passport being taken away from him. And then he said in that interview that he felt very powerless. So then I connected that to what they were saying in the play of how when they were saying that they felt vulnerable because if they lost that passport then they would have no proof of identification. I said that adds up to why Khan felt powerless in that moment, because that's how they felt when they had their passport taken away. And then for question number 4, what do you think 0 degrees says about identity, power, politics, religion? So for identity, I said people struggle with identity and that everyone is different, comes from different backgrounds. Like I said, like Khan, his passport was taken away because he was a different nationality and he was treated differently. And then I said power, that not everyone is powerless. Some people feel powerless because of higher authority. So when he got his passport taken away, he had to listen, he had to obey because they were higher than him. And then I also said you can feel the power through the movements of the performers. Even though nothing was being spoken, you could really tell that there was a lot of power behind what they were trying to say. And then politics, I said it goes back to the idea that higher authority people have that power over you. And then for religion, I just said that it can be seen through the Catholic aspects, which is through like the dancing, the talking at the same time, and like the movements and the hand gestures, and again the facial expressions. So for question 5, what does storytelling do for the characters in this performance? What seems significant about the way the stories are told? I said storytelling helps to allow the characters to express their emotions and thoughts. The stories are told in a very dramatic way with a lot of emotions and feelings behind them. I said there were many little things that they were doing with their hands or facial expressions or even following the rhythm of the music, which was all supposed to help portray the story since words were not spoken. So they had to find different ways to portray that. And then for 2 questions that I would like to have my peer, that I would like to give to my peers are, the first one is, was it easy for you to understand what the characters were trying to say through their movements since not many words were being spoken? And then my second question is, what types of performances did you guys like more? Did you like the plays that we've been reading before, or did you like ones this week where it was just performances? I said that I know this play was different from others, so I'm kind of curious to see what you guys preferred more. So yeah, thank you.